Hello again, welcome back to my channel. I've been so restless in my journal covers lately, but I thought I'd share my favorite size and all the covers that I currently have in my collection that is dedicated to that size. B6 is my favorite notebook size, specifically B6 Slim. But I use a standard from time to time. I first got into B6 when I first learned about Eternal Leather Goods. This leather maker is just fantastic. I have this cover in multiple sizes because I love it so much. I started with the standard B6 folio cover with pockets in the olive color. I have so many notebooks that fit this cover, Stalogy being the most common in the standard size, but I have tried different makers for actual notebooks. But now that I have my own paper trimmer, I can easily cut down any notebook to fit all of my covers. Prior to getting this cover, I had been using Travelers and Chic Sparrows, so I was fully into smooth leathers at the time. Eternal Leather Goods made me fall in love with pebbled or more textured leather, and I love how this leather ages as it marks up. I never felt like I had to baby this cover. The texture encouraged dings and scratches, but sometimes they were even hard to see just because of the texture. After getting a pocket and an A6 from this brand, I went back and got this B6 Slim with the same configuration. I definitely wanted pockets in all of my covers. The leather that Eternal Leather Goods uses is rather thin if I compare it to some of the other covers in my collection. Still, it never seemed to bother me. I was never a fan of floppy and thin leather, but this leather was always perfect to house my journals. My current journal is a Cafe Notes B6 Slim in Grid. This is the last notebook from this brand that I had in my stash. I believe Dromkos has a few lined notebooks in stock, but not sure if this brand is still making these notebooks. And I think what I really love about Eternal Leather Goods is how sturdy, not just the leather, but the hardware feels too. The button closure just feels very secure and like it'll last me for ages. Next up is a leather cover by Lalaite, which I do not believe Diamond is making covers anymore. I had purchased several covers through Lalaite, however this is the last one I have in my collection. This leather is very thick and structured. I really do love the cascading pockets on the side. I do wish that there was another slip pocket on the back side. It has a secretary pocket, and so I do wish that it had that other slip pocket, but since it has the zipper pouch, one was not added because I think it would have been too thick. You can slip the notebook into the secretary pocket. It's just not as secure as I would like it to be, but it still works. And when I was using this journal, I would put the cover through the slip pocket on the left side. I do really love this notebook because it had a longer closure and it could accommodate a very thick notebook, which I am definitely in the need of right now because this notebook is so chunky. This was a wonderful experience, like being able to design the cover. On his website he had selections to pick from, and it was a lot of fun to be able to design this cover to fit my needs. And even though it's not something I'm using at the moment, I still love using it. I even contemplated making it into a TN, but I did not commit to making that change yet. Again, it is a very thick leather. It has patinaed over time. I don't think I ever did an unboxing or first impressions of this cover, which is unfortunate. I do have the other two covers I had ordered from Lalaite before this one, but I guess I just never got around to editing it or even filming. Moving on to my first Filofax, which is the original cover in the color pear. Technically, it's the second Filofax I've owned, but it is just this beautiful bright color, very, very bright and happy, and I really do love this project of de-ringing and making it into a TN. I know I mentioned this in my previous videos, but this cover was definitely the most easy to de-ring. However, even though it's bright and fun, I'm not a huge fan of this pocket, or I guess not pocket, lack of pocket situation, and the pen loops to me make no sense because I can't remember if the inserts for the personal are a little bit more narrow than this notebook I have currently inside it, but it just feels like there's no room for the pen if the notebook is filled. I feel like even when it was a binder, I don't really see that working. The only other con for this cover for me is that the closure cannot accommodate an expanding journal. It just will not close properly if my journal gets too thick, which sucks because I just really love the color and my camera is going crazy trying to adjust. This color is so beautiful. It's coming across a bit yellow, but it is a bright green. As I've mentioned, I really have been enjoying de-ringing Filofax covers. I'm sure you are tired of hearing me talk about them. I just love the way the covers look, and even though it would be less work if I could just be a rings person, I am just way too anxious for them. So de-ringing these covers is a hobby in itself, and this one itself was one of the more easier ones to de-ring. It does have a back pocket, so it hides the slit I cut to get the bracket out, and it has these slit pockets in the back, and overall I'm happy with the layout of this cover. It does have an elastic pen loop, so it can accommodate a larger pen, and the cover itself does have plenty of room for an expanding journal, so if my journal does get a little packed, it can accommodate it up to a point. The leather is pretty stiff. I'm not sure if this is real leather, but regardless, I like the way it feels. And again, the color is just this beautiful muted sage color, more on the greener side. I have several videos talking about the color. Greens are my favorite, as you know, and a sage green is also one of my favorite hues. Next up is the Filofax Camden, and this one came with removable rings, so I did not have to de-ring it. It is not made of real leather, at least it doesn't feel like real leather, and the cover itself is kind of flimsy. Definitely feels a little bit different in terms of quality compared to the Norfolk, but it's still a very nice cover. I am happy I was able to get it already pre-owned and add it to my collection, just because, you know, I love the color green, and I loved that they had a series where it was removable rings, and I just wish more of their covers utilized this. But being able to customize and tinker with the cover has also been fun. And I won't spend too much time on this next cover because I did mention it in my previous video, but it is the Filofax Malden in Vetiver, and it is just so beautiful. I do think that the Malden is probably my favorite of all the Filofax series that I have currently. This does have an elastic pen loop, but it doesn't fit every pen, and even though it can fit my rather large journal, it is getting a little bit snug and making it a little difficult to fit or to close, but I think it still is a nice cover. But I've been leaning on switching out to a different cover to finish out this cafe notes. I have several different notebooks that I'm anxiously waiting to start journaling in, such as this onion skin notebook by Kate Jo. I purchased an A5 size, but I trimmed it down to a B6 slim. I'm so tempted to just start journaling in a new notebook. I also have this Stalogy that is a B6 slim that I'm interested in using as well, but this one is also a thicker notebook, so I think I will have the same issue that I'm currently having with my cafe notes, and it being too fluffy for the covers I currently have. But I do like how this journal looks all filled up and when the paper is extra crinkly, and I'm just loving this Malden cover. I am still hoping to find a Malden pair, but I have been looking at hand stitched leather tea again, and now they have two beautiful green leathers, and especially this light green one. Since I've been lusting after a Malden pair, I have been eyeing this bright green. I just haven't decided yet on if I was going to purchase another cover from them. Another cover that has caught my eye is from Aura Estelle. I know this brand has been around for a bit now, but I've just never noticed them before. Their covers are super cute. I especially loved this White Sage B6 cover with its cute little scalloped pocket, and I may or may not already have placed an order. We shall see. That's all I really wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to know what you're journaling in. Are you in planner journal peace right now, or are you like me, feeling conflicted on which cover or journal to journal in? I'd love to hear more. I also know that Hobonichi is releasing soon, so there's also that to consider. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.